Hey guys, we are here again for another podcast. We've got DJGT. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the ins and outs of starting a channel. We're also going to talk about how he goes about making his thumbnails. DJGT, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, my dude.
It must be pretty late over there right now.
Yeah, it's like 5 to 1. It's a bit tiring, but I'm happy to be here.
All right, let's pound this out. So, first and foremost, where did you hear about Bic Mitchum? I love getting the dirt on where the first time you've ever heard.
Well, the first time that I saw Bic Mitchum as a channel is, I saw you guys in sort of like stream chats and stuff like that, and I saw that, like, much like Paul John, we sort of do have a shared community, so then I actually looked at the channel, saw that, like, you know, the streams were sort of interesting.
Nice. So it's kind of just been something that just kind of happened one day. You can't kind of remember the first time. It's just kind of... Let's talk about you. Where did the name DJGT come from? I'm not even going to try to guess what those letters stand for.
Well, it sort of came about as a result of two things. The first one being me smashing my hand down on the keyboard after me initially making my YouTube account, decided that I wanted to do a YouTube channel, and then thought, oh, I don't have a name. So I just started, you know, like smashing the keyboard as you do, and then started taking letters away from where I'd been smashing, and then decided, well, I've got those two letters, and then I'm just going to put my initials at the end of it. So it'd be DJ and then GT. It's got nothing to do with like disc jockeying or music at all or anything like that.
When you first said that, the first thing I did was look down at the keyboard and see how close DJ GT were together to see if you just kind of... I think everybody's going to do that.
Yeah.
So how long ago did your channel start, and what was the initial goal for your channel?
Well, it started back in early 2015, and you know, I did Minecraft content back then, as you'd believe. Like most people used to start out with Minecraft, but I think the initial goal at the time was something like 100 subscribers or something like that. Like, I really wasn't expecting anything to come of it.
Minecraft's like seems to be the gateway game that people get started. As FGG said the same thing, and so did even some lucky boy said he toyed with Minecraft a little bit.
Like, I suppose with Minecraft, it's sort of it's a very easy and malleable game. You can do so much different stuff with it. Like, you can do cinematics even if you wanted to, and you could do live commentaries. Like, it's just such a wide environment, and you can really let your imagination like just go wild. And I think that's why so many content creators started with that, not just because they were young and they had like really underpowered PCs/Xboxes, but it really is a good building block for creators to go on.
Building block, that's a good word to choose for it, for sure. So what, you kind of talked a little bit about where you started, so what's your end game goal? So your first goal was 100, like could you see yourself breaking 7 digits someday in subscriber counts?
Oh, I could never ever see myself getting that far. Like, I'd push for it eventually, but I do not think that I could reach that in a very, very long time. Like, I think my goal right now is 10,000. So I'm going to try and push for that, and if I do get that, then I'll be absolutely overwhelmed, and I'll have felt like I actually got something from YouTube, and you know, you just sort of really feel part of the community once you get to like such a prestigious part as like 10,000 people. Like, I know like 1,000 and 2,000 is absolutely overwhelming to have so many people following you and supporting you, but when you get to that point, I think it starts becoming a little bit more real.
Right, you kind of start imagining them all being in like the same area as you, and it's a lot of people.
It is.
So is there a member of the community that you'd say you look up to, you aspire to be more like?
Oh, well, I'd definitely say in terms of personality and professionalism, I'd definitely say Star Wars Legacy. Because, I mean, all of the designs on his channel and the way that he presents himself is highly, highly admirable.
Yeah, we did a podcast with Star Wars Legacy, and it was an amazing experience. He's very knowledgeable and very very well spoken guy.
Indeed. Oh wow. Okay. Midway through the podcast, it seems that I've just reached 2,500 subscribers.
Oh, nice! Congratulations. There we go. 2.5.
Oh wow.
You're
Okay.
one quarter of the way to 10K that you were just talking about.
Oh wow. Okay.
We hit 1,000. You were approximately at 1150, but since then you've really charged onward. Has there been one particular thing you could say you could attribute the success to?
I'd say consistent uploading to a certain degree. Thumbnails that sort of brand yourself, I'd say, because if people are consistently seeing your thumbnails and your videos up in their feed, then they're more likely to return, because if YouTube is recommending them, then there must obviously be something interesting about that channel.
So suppose the Battlefront franchise were to drop dead tomorrow. Battlefront 2 gets scrapped, canceled. What kind of things would you do from there to make your channel live on? And do you think you would start to flatten out in terms of growth, or do you think you're going to keep charging onward?
Well, I think because before I got into Star Wars Battlefront 2, I started with just general Star Wars and Star Wars lore. I think, personally, with how I've built my audience up, I do believe that with the content that I'm currently doing now, I actually try to diversify it so that if Battlefront 2, the people do tend to, fall away from it and start boycotting that stuff, I do feel that I do have a okay fallback if Battlefront were to become a bit stale, or I wouldn't like it as much, so to speak.
Where would you start? Like, let's say we were to wipe your channel clean, forget it ever happened. Where do you start to kind of build a foundation for a channel?
I'd say if you have some minor Photoshop or photo editing skills, I'd say definitely bugger around in Photoshop or whatever program you use for a while and see if you can try and come up with a thumbnail style that you like for the specific content that you're doing, because there's nothing worse than having erratic and inconsistent thumbnails if you want to be re-recognized and people continue to come back to your channel. I think you also should have a profile picture for your YouTube channel that should resonate with people, that should stand out and not should not bend to how other people want it to be, and it should speak as you speak, really.
So it shouldn't just be the initials of your name, the default picture that goes with it.
Of course not. Like, that stuff is horrific.
Do you have like a certain process that you go through for making a thumbnail, like some steps?
I definitely say go to more outlandish sources for where you get your images from. So don't just go onto Google Images and just go, oh, let's just have a look what's on here. I'd say go to places like DeviantArt and ArtStation and all these places, because on ArtStation there is an absolute abundance of 3D models and stuff like that, and there are stuff that you can do with the 3D models, and it's got like an end code in it, so you can rotate the models around in the browser, and all you got to do is take a screenshot of it. And then obviously you put credit in the description below to the initial creator of the model and all of that stuff. But it does really, like, those models are so high quality. Like, I've made some of my thumbnails like almost completely out of like these 3D models, and they look absolutely spectacular.
So what are some of the things that makes the thumbnail bad?
I'd say the majority of the time it's sort of obvious. I'd say don't put red rings around stuff, don't put red arrows to stuff, don't put emojis in your thumbnail. Smaller kids might not necessarily think about it that way, but when you're trying to attract a more mature audience who's more likely to come back to your videos than literal kids, I think that is a good way to, make sure that people keep coming back and not start criticizing you on how you're getting your views.
How much does luck factor into getting views?
You really got to pray to the YouTube algorithm gods with some of your videos, because some of them, like, you can make the best video ever and it'll get trash views. I think you really need to make sure that your title is eye-catching, your thumbnail is branded, and just visually interesting. Like, you if you were just to take the thumbnail as its own, you'd be interested in the contents of it.
And you were saying that your first 2 subscribers were your parents. You were saying that?
No. My first 2, I think one of them was my friend, and another one was a sub-to-subber.
You've doubled in about what, 2 months?
Yeah, something like that.
It's just insane. Like that kind of growth is it's tough to keep up, but it's definitely a ride that you definitely want to be on. So I definitely wanted to have you on here so we could kind of get the inside scoop on what you're doing. So maybe some of the viewers can kind of steal some of your ideas and maybe even steal some of your success.
Yeah, hopefully.
But like I said, thanks for coming on, man, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, my dude.